as far as all the major things. And then the little things, I've collected a bunch of information that I'll put in the report for you, so you have everything that I saw, just in case there's something you didn't see yourself. I think the roof at 10 years old, the shingles are looking really good. In other words, you can walk on them, they're tight, they're not installed poorly, I mean, they look good. The roof leaks, that's a priority because you already have decking damage, you already have rot in 2 locations, so you want to stop that. And also you want to stop it because of what you said. If you let it continue, inevitably it will find its way inside. It's just a matter of time. I think it's been happening for a while. This is one of the most common things that I see when I come to any house with certain geometrical designs, yeah. And like you said, outside, when we first talked about it, I don't understand why they do it that way. I really don't either. And it must be for future roof revenue. Must be that they can count on your business 10 years from now knowing that that's going to leak probably. But when you pull up to any of these houses, that's the problem area that I'm used to finding. So we had a suspicion you would have water in there. I just didn't realize you would have that kind of damage. It's a significant amount. Granted, it's only about 8 inches or 9 inches. Still, it's very saturated and it's very rotted. So I think the repair, the way that gets repaired, is if you install counter flashing to protect the areas from future water penetration. That's probably a good first step. You may want to do some.
What is counter flashing? Is that you put the little lip on it to make the water kick out?
So that would be a diverter.
Down the wall and up underneath the shingles.
The counter flashing is like what you up in New York. You probably saw this because it was mandatory there. It's extra flashing installed on the top of the stucco, in addition to what's already there, so that when the water is coming down, it's not hitting the porous material, the stucco. It's hitting the metal, and it funnels it, and it'll channel it, and it'll be less likely that you'll have water penetration then. But I think that's your first repair. And then once you get that done, it would be wise to, if you physically may be able to get there, you could probably use a 2x4, get in between so that you can support that area just in case someone puts their foot on that. You know what I mean? Because it'll go right through. So you may just want to put a support there. So I think that those areas are definitely repairable. It's just a question of your preference of repairs and how you want to do it. Some roofers would say, we need to tear this up, we need to replace the rotted wood, we need to do this. Weigh out all the options from whoever you talk to or pick the one you like the most. There's many different ways to handle that.
If you leave rotted wood there, isn't it more likely to cause or to call what, termites?
No. When you remove the source of moisture, that wood dries out and decay and fungus and stuff like that usually don't grow anymore. So once you stop the source of moisture, that's usually a positive.
They only like wet wood.
Yeah, they only like wet wood. And so that's the reason why a lot of times when you talk to a lot of honest roofers, like guys who aren't trying to sell you a bigger roof job, they're probably going to lean that way because they know that once you start opening things up and messing with it, the shingles are at an age where they're good, don't get me wrong, but you start taking them up, maybe open up another can of worms.
There's a piece of, I'll call it plywood, just for to make it easier, about this wide, about maybe 4 feet wide. If we were to pull all the shingles off of that, you still have to get up under them to get these under and get these to come back down again.
Yeah, it's a job. So you have to basically work the valley up higher.
Yeah,
so
it's not fun.
No, it's not fun, and if you had someone else do it, it's expensive.
Yeah.
And at this stage of the game, you probably got 7 to 9, 8 to 10 years of life left on the shingle. So if you're at the midway point, you could probably get away with the lesser expensive repair. It's a problem area. There's a good chance that you can encounter another leak in the same location, in the future. At least you're informed and you know it, though. The other priority is going to be the exterior areas around the building, and largely because we see evidence that water's gotten in or moisture's getting in at that front wall. And when you look at the perimeter around the whole building, you can see the grade is kind of negative or flat, and there's a lot of erosion, and those are the kind of conditions that will cause water to come in. Especially here in Florida, we get a lot of rain. So even though that wall in that room is not wet now, it doesn't mean that in August it's not going to be wet. We need to control the environment better outside, and that's the key here. That's my opinion on that anyway.
There's plenty of slope. There's no excuse for having the grade go like this on the house.
I know. The lot itself is like very well done.
Plenty of slope.
So how do you keep the house from how do you keep that around the perimeter of the house?
Take 6 inches of dirt off around the house and regrade so that the dirt comes up to the house this way.
Yeah, you're looking for about a 6-inch slope every 10 feet. About 6 inches every 10 feet. And that will help you shed water better, but more importantly, once you've done that, you've got to control, you've got a roof where you've got 3 sides of water, 4 sides of water pouring down. You got to control that drainage.
So gutters would help?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm surprised that we didn't find more stuff here,
Really?
considering, yeah. So,
Did they rate the AC working or no?
no, so along with the roof leaks and the water penetration there, finding out why that condenser unit's not coming on is a priority, because most of the time, those condensing units that are newer, most of the time they're like $150 repair. It's probably something silly, it could have been anything. But you should have someone who specializes in that look at it and get a price, so that you know what you're dealing with. I can only tell you that the breakers are on, the power's to it, the thermostat is functional. These things are all as they should be, so that unit should have come on.
Okay.
All right?
Anything else that needs attention?
No, this